flexibility, adaptation, thinking outside the box. Anyone who has participated in community theater understands these lessons well. We have faced time limitations, budgets, venues, technical malfunctions, and plain old bad luck. Now we can add a global pandemic to this list. The COVID-19 virus and subsequent safety measures put in place by local, state, and federal authorities to minimize its spread has truly devastated the performing arts world. Sterling Playmakers is committed to executing safe and responsible theater operations during the pandemic while supporting community efforts to reduce the spread and minimize risk of exposure to COVID-19. We will thoughtfully and deliberately begin theater operations by following government and venue policies and regulations. Define specific policies and procedures for members, volunteers, and patrons, and communicate guidelines in writing and through announcements and public relations. Track ongoing changes in the COVID-19 landscape so we can adapt to surges in infections, adhere to new public guidelines, adjust as needed, and communicate any changes or cancellations of events. Understanding that each individual's health situation presents a specific and often unknown degree of risk to the effects of the virus, and acknowledging as such that individuals will act according to their own tolerance of that risk, Sterling Playmakers will take a cautious, holistic, and inclusive approach to the guidelines for our organization. For the safety of our volunteers, patrons, performers, and staff, we will also implement a zero-tolerance policy for blatant disregard towards these guidelines. The following principles will serve as our guide. Safety first. We will operate with the safety of our cast, crew members, and staff and patrons as our top priority. Caution. We will err on the side of caution and do our part to reduce the risk of infection and spread of the virus. Adherence to public regulations. We will respect and act in accordance with government policies, processes, and procedures. Respect for the individual. We will respect each person's individual needs regarding their ability or inability to volunteer or perform in our productions. Respect for authority. We will respect these guidelines and the people responsible for enforcing them. We expect our volunteers, patrons, performers, and staff to work together to assure a safe and respectful environment for the benefit of all. This video provides a brief overview of our policies, which are subject to change with guidance from federal, state, and local guidelines. For a current and complete list of our rules and regulations, please visit our website. Social distancing. Public health guidance stresses that whenever possible, everyone should leave at least 6 feet to the person closest to them. Performers may be required to maintain a distance of 10 feet, especially when shouting, singing, or involved in a physical activity such as dancing that increases the respiratory rate. Audience members will be spaced accordingly in the theater to maintain distance between groups or individuals. Face coverings. All cast and crew should wear face coverings or masks at all times while in workspaces. Face coverings must cover the nose and mouth and fit tightly and securely to the face. Face shields are not acceptable substitutes for masks, as recently studies have shown that they are not as effective in reducing aerosolized spray. Face shields can be worn in addition to a face mask. Each audience member will be required to wear a mask for every performance and are asked to use their own mask. Hand hygiene. Hand hygiene is a key element of infection prevention and will need to be practiced widely. When a sink is available, individuals should wash their hands for 20 seconds at least every 60 minutes and dry thoroughly with a disposable towel or dryer. As a backup, individuals may use sanitizer containing at least 60% ethanol or 70% isopropanol when a sink is not available. Temperature checks and health questionnaires will be implemented for cast and crew, volunteers, and audience members. Reporting and notification procedures will be in place in the event of exposure or positive test results. Our Policies and Procedures Guide has in-depth guidance for how we will approach our auditions, rehearsals, and performances. The guidelines include expectations for our audience members, in addition to cast, crew, and volunteers. When planning to attend a Sterling Playmakers event, we highly recommend reading our most up-to-date COVID-19 policies and procedures on our website. All attendees will be expected to sign our waiver and to comply with all expectations outlined in the document. We do this to keep us all safe.